much, Program Director. Let me start by congratulating you for two things. The first one is that you allowed us to start our function on time. I was watching very carefully whether we would indeed start at 9 o'clock, and indeed I was quite glad that you made an effort and we did start at 9 o'clock. So congratulations for that. Many people don't know how to start meetings on time. The second thing I want to congratulate you for is that at our last meeting of between the minister and the ministry and the department, there was an announcement that Mate has since become a doctor, academic doctor. Now, I am not a doctor, but I'm not jealous. So I do want to recognize Risimati as Dr. Mate, having obtained his doctoral degree. And we're proud that a young man like this one, DDG in Water and Sanitation, has now obtained a doctoral degree in the very subject that he's dealing with, engineering in water. Thank you very much. What has not happened is that he has not invited us yet to celebrate it. My greetings to the Honorable Deputy Minister Shabalala, and greetings to the Mayor, Mayor Ngudwana, Mayor of Eguruleni. Thank you very much, Executive Mayor, for your kind words and for your presence here. Let me greet also the Mayor of JB Max, who has made it to this meeting from the Northwest. We appreciate it. And then Mayor Tebola from Umsunduzi and Peter Marisbeck in KZN. Thank you very much for making it here. There's also Mayor of Ilembe District in KZN. Thank you very much for your presence. If there's a mayor that is here, has arrived and we haven't recognized them, we apologize, and we will in due course do so. Let me greet the chair of Redwater, who is amongst us. I haven't seen any other chair of any other board. If there is, where? Oh, yes, Chair Ndatem Sibi from Val Central. Thank you very much. I think you chose the wrong table. I did say to you that that table I'm not sure about, but greetings to you from Val Central. Let me greet CEs that are here, Randwater, Ndatem Sai, acting CE from Umgeno Tugela is here. I haven't seen any other. And let me greet DG, Director General, Dr. Sean Phillips. So he's another doctor. I'm making that deliberate for all of you to know that our department is led by people who are married, who were appointed for that and no other thing. Now, some time ago, I came across somebody who was commending himself, a man for having a beautiful wife. He said, although I'm ugly myself, but I have a beautiful wife. Thank you very much, DG, all the DGs that are here, Zwane, who has made remarks here and introduced us. All of you, ladies and gentlemen, Special Advisor Vuspikoli and other officials who are here. Let me take this opportunity first to go directly to what we're here for. We're here to release the results of the blue and no drop reports, release them to the public. And I want to say that as we release these reports, we are aware they are going out together with part of us, part of our performance. They speak volumes to what we are doing and what we are not doing right. Particularly, all of us as the water sector, and in this regard, led by the water service authorities, the honorable mayors that are here and their councils. You are on the spotlight here, but of course you are not alone. We are also on the spotlight, but not alone. The whole of South Africa is under the spotlight in terms of the kind of water that we are drinking, especially when it comes to the quality of water in drinking water in South Africa. So we are releasing these results, the ceremony, but we will also later be awarding those who would have heeded our call and subscribed to ensuring that citizens are protected by being allowed only to use quality water that is compliant to the standards. And we're hoping that those municipalities that are still lagging behind will be inspired by this ceremony, will be inspired by those who would have done well. We're not going to condemn anyone here, but of course we will say you have a lot to cover, you need to do better, you still have space to do better, because the public out there is not looking kindly at us. They think that we're lazy, they think that it is deliberate on our part, that they drink less than what they are entitled to, high quality and healthy water. So the Director General will deal with, will deal with those matters, but will also provide the progress report on the green drop, whose results we announced last year. Now, the Constitution of the Republic affords citizens the right to an environment that is not harmful to their health and well-being. It also affords the citizens a right to have access to sufficient water, and these two rights are fundamentally linked to the rights of life and human dignity. And the non-derogatory rights in the Constitution, and our mantra, water is life, sanitation is dignity, and our mandate is indeed one that gives life, and we dare not fail the citizens of our beautiful country, the Republic of South Africa. The Blue Drop and the Green Drop certification program were introduced way back in 2006, some 15 years ago, with the first reports getting released in 2009, and each year thereafter until 2014. Now they stopped it for some reason. Now when we joined the department in 2021, We recommitted the department to reintroduced this program for the sector to be guided properly in terms of norms and standards to adhere to, but particularly the water service authorities. So we've since resuscitated these programs, and I'm very pleased with the achievement. We have once again audited all water service authorities in terms of their drinking water systems, water conservation and demand management, as well as wastewater treatment works. These programs are important as they serve as indicators as to where we are as a country in terms of the quality of our drinking water, but also in terms of our acumen in treating and processing waste in our country. We also have the No Drop program, which focuses on water conservation and demand management, aimed at ensuring water distribution systems function effectively. We don't have pipes that have holes all over. We don't have pipes that are more than 100 years and are tired and cannot hold water anymore. And then we lose a lot of water that we should be conveying to people. We lose that water to the ground, making the sector unsustainable or half sustainable. And this is a matter that we are very worried about. Now, some ordinary people would say, or person would say, why do we worry about about water that we lose to the ground? We should concerning ourselves with the water that we pass to households. It's not the case. Water that gets into pipes, whoever does that gets to expenses. You spend money to pump or to abstract water and to pump water and then to convey it. Now, once that is the case, there must be sustainable of the whole processing of water. And so we mind water that goes to the ground. It's a serious issue in terms of water management. Now, the other important aspect of this program is that they set standards higher than minimum requirements, and they challenge water service authorities to go an extra mile in the quest for excellence. Standards. It's a good thing to have, so that all of us function and make efforts to reach those standards, comply with those standards. But also, as we say, give a very good indication to water service authorities that as authorities, they must know all the time. They are authorities because they comply to particular standards. Now, whilst there is a primary legislation which deals with these aspects, it needs to be understood that these programs are intended to augment and complement the normal legislative and regulatory provisions. The DROP certification program has ignited passion and pride in the water sector in South Africa. It embeds a culture of regulatory compliance and provides a standard for municipalities to work towards. Through the recognition of excellent performance, the program provides a powerful incentive for improvement. The DROP certification program have become more than just a reporting mechanism to the participants. It has become the accolade of water professionals in and outside the beautiful country. Perhaps most importantly, the program provides citizens with important information about the performance of their water and sanitation services. And remember that citizens are alpha and omega. They are the first law, they are the last law. They are the ones about whom we are about. we have declared ourselves to be of service to them. Not any service, but good service, complying with standards that are set and legislation as I've said. But as we mentioned here, it's also good for practitioners in the water sector, good for professionals, because water is a science that requires professionalism of the highest order, especially because water is not something that we just use general, but it ends up getting into our bodies. That is a very critical part of it. So citizens out there, when they open taps, they need to be guaranteed that the water that you're about to take via a glass into your body is not harmful to your health and is guaranteed. And this is a call, a very important call to all of us, particularly water service authorities, and of course water boards, because water boards also treat water, and they have to comply with the set standards and the norms. We can get a lot of respect out there in other, from other countries throughout the world, only if we really are seen to be making strides in our efforts to make sure that we subscribe and comply with world standards when it comes to quality water, quality drinking water, and treatment of effluents. Now, it was encouraging to see the response from water service authorities and from water boards and other stakeholders who heeded the call to provide relevant evidence required by the drop assessments. To municipalities which have not fared according to expectation, the message is to use these results to develop improvement plans, and want to plead with those municipalities that did not meet the required standards, that you are being called upon to do a turnaround and to make improvements, because as we have observed, people out there expect nothing less than high quality water that we provide to them for drinking. We understand that as a National Department of Water and Sanitation, we have an overall responsibility for ensuring the citizens of the Republic have access to clean water and healthy sanitation systems through the country indeed. So to that end, we have been assisting and engaging municipalities to deliver on their mandates and have devised a number of mechanisms to help them and achieve what they need to in terms of our expectations and those of the public. Now, when we say we are supporting the municipalities, we mean that we go beyond grants, we physically go to municipalities, we engage municipalities, we point out at what is wrong, we show ways of improving and make turns around, and work with them on programs of turning things around. Quite a bulk of our time now is spent focusing on municipalities. I'm not saying that we're neglecting our job, but I'm indicating that we really go out of our way. So you are not alone. We are there, we are supporting you, because we know if you can't perform, or you perform in a very low way, you are putting us there. We are part of that. But if you perform well and you excel, we are part of that excellent work And therefore, we work with you so that we all reach that level of excellence as a sector, which is expected of us. So we remain committed to ensuring that water service authorities provide the people of South Africa with access to safe drinking water. That's our prayer. That is what we want to achieve. And that is what we want to live for every day. So that we protect the people from the real risk of waterborne diseases. However, there is a concerning decline in the performance of many municipalities in terms of drinking water systems since the last report was released in 2014. Of course, these are bad news, and this is what I was talking about when I say, as we release these reports, part of us is going out with these reports, and we know we are setting up ourselves to a lot of scrutiny by the public and media, and they are going to start saying, "Do you think you are doing a good job?" They are going to start saying, "Do you think there's no crisis in water in South Africa?" And I will continue to say that if people of South Africa want to use the word crisis to describe whatever the aspect of water, they are free to do so. We are not going to go to anyone and ban the word crisis, but we are encouraging everybody to contextualize this by, for instance, indicating that when you are talking about crisis, if a person, a family, doesn't or haven't had water for 7 hours in a day, 5 hours in a day, a whole day, 2 days, and say, "Hey, I have a crisis in my home, there's no water," we won't go and say and question that person, because as far as this person is concerned, there's a crisis in my home, there's no water. But to generalize that a situation faced by a family or a village or a suburb constitute a national crisis, that's where we say we want to encourage people to avoid exaggerating outside the context that they are talking about. But of course, we are a democratic country, and with free speech. And also to say that where we see more difficulties is on the water supply side than on the water availability side. And therefore, to generalize that when we identify many problems on the supply side to households in our country, then it is all over. We do want to continue saying the dams are full, and we thank God for that. And that we want to translate what we see in dams into households in terms of water supply. And we need to focus on that. So, of course, there are challenges. We acknowledge water challenges, water supply challenges. The Department of Water and Sanitation is working collaboratively with the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, collaboratively also with the Municipal Infrastructure Agency, the Department of Human Settlements, National Treasury, and including the Presidency to address the findings of the DROP reports. Action plans have been developed to address the key findings in the worst performing municipalities. These action plans include the provision of grants worth more than 20 billion per annum to municipalities, technical and engineering support, and assistance capacity building and training, and financial management advice and support. Just this morning I was talking to DG about the need for us to send at least 3 engineers to a municipality in Limpopo. And we've got to do that so that we turn the situation around that we saw there when we went to engage them the other day. So there are ever limits to which national government can support and intervene, to support municipalities and intervene, and therefore address the general decline in services on water and sanitation. And fundamental reform is also required. To this end, we recently gazetted Water Service Amendment Bill for public comment. The bill will result in more professionally managed, capable, efficient, and financially viable water service authorities. Services institutions. We cannot, you can't have a country where you appoint a minister for water and sanitation, and the duty of the minister is to lament the whole year and merely explain problems, describe problems. No, there's this type of a problem, that type of a problem, this type, and you get paid for that. It can't be. You've got to rise to the occasion, get to resolve the problem, tackle the problems that you are facing, resolve the problems that you are facing, no matter how difficult they are, instead of lamenting for the whole year. I'm not minister of lamentation. I'm minister of water and sanitation. And I want to do just that. Provide water, provide sanitation, and not provide lamentations. It is for this reason that we have said this is the time beyond which we can't go. We need to effect tangible changes. Now, some of these changes need to go via changes in the legislation, as we indicate. So the bills are being processed so that we go to the fundamental roots of some of the causes. Now, the department will continue to devote resources and focus to ensuring that water services received by citizens of this country are of acceptable quality and standard. The department uses its regulatory and support branches to identify challenges and address them as early as practically possible. The role of the blue and green drops are key in these processes and will continue to show their value going forward. As I step down, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of the participating municipalities, including the researchers, service providers, sector partners, who have collectively taken ownership of this program and made it what it is, an internationally recognized program. To those who have done well, we say to them, congratulations, and they will be rewarded for that. And at this stage, we want to thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Let's give the minister another hand as he takes his seat. So I realized that the quotation that took the attention from everyone, Honorable Minister, is when you said you are not the Minister of